Yay, we're back. We're talking about beliefs. This is part 3. So, if this is the first video you're watching, go back. You have to watch part 1 and part 2, where I talked about what beliefs are, how they operate. And in the second video, we talked about how to surface, what you have to do to start surfacing some of the invisible programming, some of the invisible laws and the beliefs you've had about stuff. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to teach you how to uncreate it and how to replace those beliefs with new programming. So I told you I had my list of 70 painful experiences. Then I realized it was cluster of the same stuff. It was multiples in one. It was like the same situation, oftentimes replicating itself. So then I grabbed a sheet of paper and I wrote down all the negative beliefs. It was like 10 or 15 beliefs that were really strong for me, that I've been running the show for the past 34 years. Okay? So then what I do, how do you release it? First you have to release it, then you replace it with something else. Okay? You cannot just do your affirmations because they don't do anything for you until you deal with what's underneath, what's running the show. So you write down your negative beliefs that you pull from your list of 70 painful experiences, and you uncreate it. How I do it, which is the technique that is kind of a combo between what 2 of my life coaches have taught me, is I will feel into the belief. I'll go in my body and see where that belief lives. What's the painful experience? I'll go to that painful experience. I'll just be with it and feel it and breathe into it for 2 minutes. I'll not think it. I'll just breathe into it, because it is in feeling the feeling of it that it gets released. I can suppress it with a bunch of thinking. It's not going to do anything. It's just going to stay suppressed. These things have to be felt through and they have to be released. So I will feel into it. I'll set timer to 2 minutes. I'll feel into it. And at the end of 2 minutes, I will say, I have created this belief. I realize I've created it. I realize it's not real. I uncreate, I delete, and I destroy this belief. Or I say it is in the now, in all space and reality and time and whatever, that I uncreate, delete, and destroy this. You might want to pause this video and write this down, and rewind and write it down, because that statement is super powerful and actually tells your brain this belief is not real. I uncreate, I delete, and I destroy this belief. So with every belief, now that you have uncreated it, you have felt into it, you have released the feeling, and you have uncreated it, now you install the positive belief. So what's the positive belief? Well, it depends on the positive alternative to that belief depends on the belief. So I'll give you an example. One of my beliefs was that I need a lot of certain things to feel vital and energized. I need sun, I need vitamin D, I need movement, I need nutrition, I need my tribe, I need my self-care, I need my meditation. I have a lot of requirements to feel alive. And I realized, I'm like, wow, there's a heck of a belief that I have created. So I decided to uncreate and delete and destroy the belief that I need anything to be in a good mood, to be positive, to be energized. And the belief that I decided to believe instead was my aliveness comes from within and I can access it anytime. And now, so you create your positive alternative and you use it as an affirmation. Important thing about affirmations is this. You have to say it and be with it at least a few times, and at least for 30 seconds. Here's why. As I talked in the first video, the way beliefs are created is that you have a thought. At 17 seconds is joined by another similar thought. So in order to create a belief, you must have this thought, my aliveness comes from within, or whatever that thought is for you, and be with that thought for long enough that it has a chance at 17 seconds to be joined in another thought, and then another thought, and another thought, and then it gets combusted into a belief system, and then it creates a new identity for you. And at that point, you're going to start emanating a different electromagnetic charge into the field and attracting different set of circumstances and different set of outcomes, different relationships, different clients, different results. So you cannot just say the affirmation once and think that's going to work. You have to uncreate the old belief and then spend enough time with this belief to actually start, or with that thought, that affirmation, to actually start getting it into your subconscious and creating a belief out of it. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Another technique, I'm using some essential oils that my life coach sent me. I have no idea what brand it is. I have no idea what they are. She just sends them to me. But so I cannot quite give you much education on it, other than I use 2 of them. I'll show you what they are. Number 2 and number 4, that's all I can tell you. However, I use one of them. She told me to use for releasing the old beliefs, and another one for instilling new beliefs. I really like that one. Whoa, what's going on? Some crazy noise. So you can use essential oils. If you have somebody you work with or a life coach, you might ask for their help and their advice and tell you what those are. Or if you need a recommendation, I'll hook you up with my coach. But I just dumped a little bottle of oil. Anyway, so that's the steps. So just to recap the whole process from the past couple videos. So number 1, you create a list of 70 most painful experiences. You write them down, you spend a couple hours, it's gonna be super painful, it's gonna suck, whatever, get through it. Because the fruits are so worth it. Number 2, you start surfacing what must you have believed to have created all those painful experiences. And then you grab a sheet of paper. On the left side, you're gonna have all your beliefs. It's gonna be less than it's not going to be 70 different beliefs, because you have one belief that probably created 5, 10, 15, 20 different painful experiences. Okay? So you're going to have, on the left side, you're going to have a set of beliefs. And then you're going to go through each of them, and you're going to feel into it. You're going to release it. And at the end of 2 minutes, you're going to say, I realize I've created this belief. It is in the now that I uncreate and delete and destroy this belief. Okay? Then you're going to write down a positive alternative, and you're going to create an affirmation from it, and you're going to say